Test, test. All right. We are live here at Compin Gaming in Newark, New Jersey for a premium tournament here, 1K tournament. We have on the table right now, we have Jay and Marino. Jay has the Zero Damage Gaming Zaza mat, and Marino is the opposing player with the Vilas Deleter mat. Just starting up the tournament here. Everyone's doing their mulligan, shuffling, and all that good stuff. Today's matchup is Jay is playing Nubatama Turbo into what's that thing called? He's playing the Turbo into Drachma, and Marino is playing New Dio New Dio for Murakumo. Marino's going first, using the skill. Draw a card from starter, draw a card, put a card to the bottom of the deck. Not much to say of this matchup. Murakumo right now in premium is pretty much a very tough matchup for a lot of different cards, for a lot of different decks. Going to grade 2 turn. Marino has to G assist for grade 2. Will he get it? He does. Does not look like he has the Hyuga in hand, though. Does not look like it, which is good news for Jay. One of the ways you can beat this deck is if you do not pull the Hyuga. Swing 1 damage. Going into Nubatama's second turn. Going into the vanilla grade 2, the new one. A lot of these cards are still new, so some of these interactions are still being tested out for some of the players. And he passed turn without giving him a damage. Oh, and there we go. He's into Hyaki Vogue, that looks like. I believe it's Hyaki Vogue. It's not Hyuga. Marino in a bit of a tough spot here with Murakumo. Not running into Hyuga is a pretty bad time. And he opts to just swing. He's going to opt to swing for 12. I believe that's going to be 19 or 20. Jay is going to guard. 2 to pass. 1, 2 does not pass, but Marino does draw off the draw trigger. Jay's turn. Jay has a couple of options here. He does play, as you see, Jamio Congo here. Jamio, skill from standard. Basically, when he's placed, your opponent drops down to 6 cards in hand. If there's a grade 3 in soul, you drop down to 4 cards in hand. It's pretty disastrous against decks that like to draw a lot of cards. For Marino here, though, it's going to hurt him. And he decides to drop a Hyuga. That must mean he has at least another one in hand. There's no reason for him to drop it. Yep, you can see right there he does have another one. Jay opts to stride into Cyclone, the the newest vanilla Stride from Premium Collection. Basically, this card lets you give 5k to all vanilla units when it's an up in G zone or when it's on Vanguard Circle. One, opting not to give him too much damage. Marino's turn now. Now he goes into the Hyuga. So Jay going into the Hyuga turn with no damage here, which works to his benefit. Hopefully he can hit a few triggers here to try and mitigate Marino's really powerful attacks. Marino probably debating what cards to put down. He's calling his board down. He's got the promo that was insanely expensive at one point. Now it's a little bit cheaper. He's doing Hyuga skill now to make everything the same name. One of New Dio's restrictions is he needs a number of rear guards to have the same name as the Vanguard, so he can't just go into it without having a board out already. Interesting play calling the boosting grade 3 on the Vanguard, on an extra rear guard circle. And here we go with New Dio coming out. Now Marino's board is not in its ideal state. He is missing a couple columns here and there. He is also missing Central Leicester, which makes this deck pop even more. So right now Jay is looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacks as opposed to anything more. So Jay's probably feeling pretty good about his position right now. Marino's going into New Dio turn without a good board. Now New Dio's going to attack. This attack you have to eat. New Dio says you can't use G-Guards, you can't use PGs, and you have to guard with 5 or more cards from hand. So it's pretty oppressive in how to guard it. So Jay takes his damage. Another trigger, and he draws. Jay in a very good spot here. Marino's numbers aren't as big as he would like them. Marino's thinking here if he wants to swing again or not, I think. Debating what to do. Nope. Jay's deciding to go into a G-Guard. Which G-Guard will he go into? Oh, one of his dominating G-Guards, it looks like. He's going to pull one of Marino's cards to guard. Yep, he pulls the grade 1 from the back to G-Guard for him. And he's enough to block. And will Jay take this damage, or will he not? Discussing power, it couldn't hit, goes into soul, and he draws a card. Now, going into Jay's turn, Marino has to go to 6 cards in hand at the beginning of Jay's turn now. So now Marino has to think, what is he going to use for setting up next turn? What is he going to use to block? He has no damage. Very low damage game here right now, so Marino's probably thinking more shield dropping here because what are you going to guard? You got 0 damage, guy. So Jay is now going into Nubatama's new Stride. This Stride's actually very good for Nubatama. What it does is basically, on attack, you retire 2 grade 0 cards, bounce your field back to hand, and then you call out 2 cards, and you draw 2. You draw out 2 before you call out. So right here, Jay can set up a board of vanillas, and with 1 Cyclone up, that lane is going to gain 10k. So now Jay's going to be able to push for numbers against Hyuga. He's going to be able to deal damage. And Marino's either going to have to eat this damage, or he's going to have to waste cards from hand. Another benefit of the new Stride is when you call out the 2 units and you do his skill, it gains 10k and a crit. So now Jay is swinging 4 crit, retiring his 2, calling those back to hand. He's flipping 1 up in the G zone for cost for the skill, calling out another vanilla board and drawing 2 cards. And it looks like Jay did draw into the Tempest Sphere, which could help him next turn. Marino opting to no guard. Oof. Crit power to Vanguard and a Hyaki Vogue. Marino's lanes are not looking well with those Hyaki Vogues not in his hand. He had to ride 1, and then he had to call another one out. But with those damage checks, Jay couldn't hit. So now we're going into another turn for Marino. It's a very interesting situation Marino's in. Typically, the deck doesn't brick as much, but with that G-Assist really hurting him, and the new Dio turn was really bad, he's using Rat's skill to call out another Rat. He gets minus 4 or 5k. It's been a while since I played against Murakumo Standard. They are getting support soon, which looks really good for him. So, and Marino is calling a board out, it seems. Yes, he is calling a board. Will he call to the Accel markers, though? If he doesn't, he's not maximizing his number of attacks. A lot of thinking here in this premium tournament today. This is a 1K tournament for Comp and Gaming. They're going to try and be doing this once a month, hopefully, for every game, for Vanguard, Super, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Premium Vanguard and Standard Vanguard. So right now, Jay has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards in hand, one of them being a PG. So Jay's only at 2 damage, and the Hyaki Vogue comes out. Well, now Jay's in a bit of a pickle here. He is in a bit of trouble. Because now the Hyaki Vogue, if I remember correctly, is going to call something else out. Nope, he's going right into new Dio. I guess Marino feels like he's in a position where he's got board. He's got probably enough attacks to whittle Jason's hand down to try and kill him. I do think Jason's thought process is to try and turbo into Drachma. Because right now Marino's at 3 damage. For those who don't know, what Drachma does is Drachma basically says, yeah, cool, Drachma will retire your board. That board goes into drop zone, then gets bound. And then Drachma says, retire your Vanguard as well. Then he says, pick 3 cards from hand. You drop 2, ride 1 as your Vanguard as stand. So here's Jay going blocking. He got 1 draw trigger, so that's good for him. He's got some kind of a little bit of a buffer here. Marino calculating some damage. Why the Central Arrestor is not behind Vanguard is a little puzzling in my opinion. Jay guarding the attack. And now here comes new Dio, which no one's going to block the attack. Flip 1, pay the cost. He's going to restand his board. We're going to take... I'm on my phone so I can share this. Share to... I'm going to share this live stream real quick. To this chat. Sorry about that. Jay is now guarding for this. He's taking another damage. Ooh, and hits another Jamio. Can he guard? Yes, he can. Jay has survived a second turn of New Dio. This is not easy to do, as New Dio is a very oppressive card. Jay is contemplating what his next move is. He has 2 Tempest Spheres in hand, which can easily make a vanilla board come out. But Jay is probably thinking what is his best way he can maximize his turn. He's striding into one of his dominating units. I believe Jay is going into a play of attacking Marino's board here. Yep, he's going, and Jay is going into the vanilla beatstick path, it looks like. Drinking top 7 for vanilla units. Vanilla units being any card that does not have a continuous auto or act ability. So for a clan, like I play like Melody. If you play Melody, if your card just has Melody, like the grade 1s, those still can be picked up by a Tempest Sphere. So now Jay is calling out a board. He's activating his skill. Flipping up another card up. Cyclone. I believe that's all 4 Cyclones out. So these 2 columns are gaining 20k each. It's 5k for every flip. So now those lanes have plus 40k on them. That's not going to be easy for Marino to guard against. Marino's G guarding here. Oh, I hear them. They're getting a question on ruling for it. So this is the unit in which Jay is having his Vanguard attack all his rear guards. So Marino opting to guard only the 1 unit. Now this card, I don't know its exact effect, I apologize, but that card is key because it gives power for units with the same name. And he's also guarding Hyakki Vogue. Ooh, interesting. Jay takes 2 drive checks, 2 blank. The rest of Marino's board is dead. So now Jay's got to be thinking here. He still has his Hyakki Vogue out. He still has the other card out. Marino's board will still gain immense power. Jay's got to be thinking, do I attack board? Do I attack face? What do I do here? And a blank drive check for Jay. And he did go to face indeed, giving him a damage. And now Jay is swinging 2 sides. Smart play here. Marino would eat the damage if it was straight to the Vanguard. He'd just eat the damage. No reason not to guard. But now Jay is using his power to wipe Marino's board. So now this power is 40k plus whatever his lane is. So that's a 12k vanilla, and it's I believe a 4 or 5k trigger. So it's like 50-something power going on now. That's not easy to guard. And now Jay is ending turn, de-striding. This is an interesting matchup here. Jay at 5 damage, Marino having to stay at 6 cards at the beginning of his turn. Again, opting to call Central Arrestor out, not behind the Vanguard. Now, for those who don't know, Central Arrestor, if it's behind the Vanguard, it can attack from the back row, from behind the Vanguard. So, Marino must not think he has enough power, or he doesn't have enough in hand to guard all of this. Calling out 1 more unit. Jay's reading to make sure he knows what it does. This is key in Vanguard. to an extent. You need to know what your opponent's cards do. You don't want to just go into a game blind. And Marino is calling a full board. It's partial, almost a full board. Now doing Hyuga skill. Nope, new Dio skill. So now the question here for Jay. Can he survive 7 attacks from Marino? 7 attacks from Marino. This is not going to be easy. Marino's in a very good spot here because no matter what happens that new Dio turn, actually he might not have enough to do the new Dio turn. Oh, wait. They're debating game state, it seems. Oh, nope, they're not debating game state. They're taking care of the power and doing new Dio skill, and Jay no guards it. Crit power, and that's going to be game. Marino's got game 1. Very interesting game this was. Normally, Murakumo doesn't brick like that against opponents, but he didn't get the Hyuga. He had a G assist. So we're going to just reset here for game 2. If I had to take an educated guess, I'm going to say Jay is going first. You don't want to go second against Murakumo. Going second is asking to get new Diodon on grade 2. For those who also don't know, new Dio works even while your opponent's at grade 2. You just need the rear guards with the same name. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. And for those wondering, I do have my mask with me. We are taking precautions here at the tournament. Everyone has their masks. Hand sanitizer is available. I am in an enclosed room away from the players right now, so if I go out to where they are, I do wear my mask and I do get my sanitizer ready. So there is that. We are taking all the precautions that we can to make this as safe as we can. And we're starting up. It looks like Jay did open up into Zaza. Zaza is a very controversial card that just got released with the Premium Collection 2020. Basically, on place, Soul Blast 1, call out 2 Vanillas. If you did, draw 2 cards. It's a very strong deck. And its cost also is flip a card in the G zone. Very strong card early game. It's a very good card. That's why Bushiro, unfortunately, did have to restrict it to 1 of in any deck, though. Going, and Marino swings. Jay's going to take the hit. 1 damage. Crit power. Draw. Now, Jay's thought process here is he doesn't want to... You don't want to show your opponent that you have the Zazan. Oh, he just did. I'm assuming Jay might try and go into the Superior Ride here. The new Vanilla Cray Elementals do have a Superior Ride. We may just see how it happens right here, right now. Drop in Tempest Sphere, Counterblast, flip a G unit face up, and you gain top 7. Look at top 7. Pick 2 vanilla units, add them to hand. Tempest Sphere is also a really good card from the Premium Collection. The Premium Collection has done a lot of good for a lot of decks in the meta today. Oh, that's what it was. Jay decided not to Zaza before Tempest Sphering. Smart move, smart play. He's calling out the 2 vanilla units, and now he gets to draw 2 off of Zazan. What makes Zazan such a great card is there's no counterplay to Zazan. There is nothing you can do against it. It's a Soul Blast flip. You activate GB1, you get cards on the board, they gain 5k power. It's a very potent card. Jay also opting to play Bobo in his deck. For those who are not aware of Bobo, basically it's your counter charger, soul charger, damages yourself. If you're getting damage denied and someone doesn't want to give you the damage, play Bobo. Bobo comes out, you get to do his skill, give yourself a damage, do what you got to do. And now Jay does ride the Superior Ride engine, going into the Grade 3 Cray Elemental. Same thing as the Tempest Sphere. He gets to check top 7 for vanilla units. One of his costs is you have to have a specific number of vanilla units out. So Marino did call him out on that, and since it was mid-skill, Marino is allowing him to get the cards he needs. Again, it might not be a proper play, but Marino is letting it go. So that's on Marino if he doesn't want to call for infraction on that. But now Jay is going to be able to Superior Ride with 4 vanillas out. Striding into Cyclone, and now this is one way you can beat Murakumo. You need to rush them early game. You just need to pressure them. Now Jay did crit, so that's why he got that crit there on his rear guard. Now Cyclone has another ability where if a vanilla unit is placed, you do restand one of your rear guards. 2 Jamios in hand. That does set Jay up for a nice Drachma turn coming up, if he can make it there. So now he's trying to rush Marino. He PG's that attack. He's going to swing again. Marino has no reason to guard this. Oh no, this is the grade 1 that gains 2 damage. Oh no, this is nope. My apologies. It's the grade 3 12k. But since there's a number of Cyclones up, it's more power. Marino now at 4 damage. Can Jay come from behind and win this game? Losing game 1 is not ideal. It causes you to let the Murakumo player go into game 3 going first. So now Marino is wondering, what do I do on turn 2? Jay's on grade 3. He's got big numbers. I'm literally going to get strode on next turn. This is a very bad spot for Marino. He needs to conserve hand. If Jay goes into Jamio Congo, he's going to go down to 4 cards in hand. And Jay's already primed for a Drachma turn. He has 3 cards up in G-Zone. And Marino opting to swing to vanillas. What are you going to do here? Are you going to give Jay that counterblast? You got to wonder, how many Bobos does he run? Is he going to be able to do a skill? Yep. And there we go. Jamio comes out, gains a marker, and Marino has to drop to 4 cards in hand now. Now, depending on what Jay goes into here, this could be really bad for Marino. 4 cards in hand is not easy to guard. He just dropped a Megetsu Storm, so he's not Drachma-ing right now. Jay debating what he wants to go into. Marino's at 4 damage. Drachma could save him here, depending on what's in Marino's 4 cards in hand. Jay is debating what he wants to do, and what will he do? Opting to go into the new Stride. Not a bad play. Not a bad play here. He's probably thinking Bobo's a dead card. I'm just going to call out 2 units, 2 grade 0s that I'm just going to sack anyway. So now Jay is going to swing and multi-attack Marino. So he's going to swing the face. Marino's going to eat the damage, hope for a trigger. He does get a crit trigger. This does put Jay in a little bit of an awkward spot. That 10k defense can help him here. But still, Jay's Vanguard's going to gain 10k and a crit. So that needs to be guarded. And Marino, 4 cards in hand. Yep, Marino just opts to just end the game there. We're going to game 3 here. Interesting move by Marino. He probably didn't think he had enough guard. And he probably thought, at this point, even if I guard everything, what am I going to do grade 3? So he's opting to go into the next game and try just to do what Murakumo does. Board state and just slap people. Whilst these guys prep for next game, I will share this online. All right. Looks like camera's a little out of focus. We'll have to fix that by the next game coming out. A little bit out of focus. I do apologize for that. We'll have to fix that after the next game. Jay's ride. They're doing their rides. Let me get my phone back up so I can see the chat if anyone wants to chat. Anyone is watching and wants to chat, the chat is open. Any questions, comments, just let us know. Maria's going into grade 2 turn. Probably thinking he has to gain some advantage here. He wants to damage him, but do you want to create enough board to where Jay will just attack your board and not give you damage? Jay debating if he wants to guard or not. This is a very important game 3 here. Decides to no guard, taking 1 damage. Crit trigger. Jay draws into a heal. Going into his grade 2 vanilla. He's going Tempest Sphere. Again, Tempest Sphere is a really good early game card. Really, just overall really good. That card can do a lot for you. Gets you your vanillas, lets you deck thin. And in this situation for Jay, it's probably getting him his heal trigger so that he can actually G-guard out some cards and keep Marino at bay. Now, Marino and Jay are friends outside of Vanguard. They have played against each other, and from personal experience, this is one of the best games Jay's had against Marino. Marino not having the best games here as he's not drawing into the cards he needs, and Jay opting to pass. Jay wisely passing because he knows, I don't want this guy going into new Dio turn. I got to deal him a lot of damage, gain hand advantage. So why even give him the chance to new Dio me on his first grade 3 turn? So Marino's probably thinking, I just need a set board. Or I need to set myself. I'm not going to call too much out. And the Central Arrestor comes out behind Vanguard. So now there's 2 attacks Marino can do against Jay and not care and not give a shit. Not care about. My apologies. Whew. Not care about. And a Jamio goes into damage. Not good for Jay. Jamio is what makes Jay's deck scary to go up against. If you draw a lot, he doesn't care. Drop that hand to 4. Going into Jamio, drop that hand to 6. He does not have a grade 3 in hand. Jay's just patiently waiting for Marino to drop his hand. And now we go into the turn. Move my phone over so I'm not constantly looking over there. So if chat needs to say something, they can see it. So Jay's debating what to do here. What stride do I go into? What can I do to him to hurt him the most? Opting to go into Cyclone. Now Jay can only stall this deck ever so much. You can only stall so much because Marino's constantly going to attack you. Oh, and the Zaza play. Interesting play here. Is he going to try and set board? Is he going to try and set up to win game? interesting tech card here. Hanali. This card is amazing for this matchup. Hanali is after the fourth battle, for the fifth attack and out, you have to counterblast to attack. So for Marino, if Jay plays this right, Jay can actually make it to where Marino can only attack him a certain amount of times because Hyuga's skill requires a counterblast. So if he only gives him 2 damage, he's gonna Hyuga into a Hyaki Vogue or something else. Now here's the question: is 3 damage too much, Jay? Did you give him just enough damage? So Jay's sitting here, and Jay's got to think. Oh, and we're back into being we're back to being a little bit more legible. We're good now, I think. Marino calling out a board. I don't know if Marino understands how bad Hanali might affect him. Obviously, we are in a tournament setting, so Jay is not going to explain what Hanali does. And Marino might have just messed up himself. Let's see what happens. This is actually an interesting turn of events. That Hanali may have just won Jay, may have just gave Jay the advantage he needs against him. Jay and Marino both play premium a lot. Is their preferred preferred format for Vanguard. And wait, did Jay just... Oh, ooh, Marino just got rid of the Hanali. I believe that is the effect of the G era card Marino put down. Oh no, is that new Dido or is that a different Stride? Marino may have known what he was getting into. We'll see in a moment. Yakivo gave them power, so Central Arrestor can hit, just discussing powers. Now, even if you get rid of Hyaki Vogue off the board, the unfortunate thing with Hyaki Vogue is even if you get rid of him, his power still will go as it is an axe skill. Swing again, and will Jay just take the hit? Oh, sorry. We have the owner just coming on by. Sorry. We have some tenants upstairs. Just making sure everything's okay. Jay is once again G guarding. Now this G guard, what it does is it flips one up in the zone in the G zone, and your opponent has to discard a card. If they don't, the G guard gains 20k. So Marino opts to ditch what looks to be a PG. Interesting move, Marino. And Jay's opting to use the quick shield. That quick shield comes in handy sometimes. A lot of people discredit that 5k, but in like a situation like this, that 5k just saved Jay from dropping anything bigger than a 5k. Guarding this Hyaki Vogue attack with Bobo as well. 3 cards. Now we're about to see if Marino indeed played... Is that new Dio? Yes, it was new Dio indeed. Jay is in a bad spot right now. Getting rid of the Honolly really messed with Jay's board state. That Honolly could have made the play, but instead, oof. But instead, Jay's in a very, very tough position right now. Gains more power swinging to Vanguard. Jay has two cards in hand. He has four attacks coming. He can PG one attack, but he still has to take three attacks. Ooh, draw trigger. That helps. What did he draw into? He drew into, oof, a PG. That's not. Ooh, actually. Yeah, no. No, Marino takes it. Marino takes game one here at Comp and Gaming's tournament. I do believe that that play where he put everything to the back to the bottom of the deck saved Marino. If he didn't, he would not have been able to multi-attack, and thus it just would have been that would have been bad for Marino if that Honolly stayed on board. So we clean up here. Our players are packing up. Very good game though. That was a very very intensive game. It was not bad at all on Jay's part. Literally came down to triggers. Literally was down to that. Jay, like most people I'd understand, is not a fan of this deck. I'm also not a fan of this deck. But the positive aspect of this game is it just shows that the deck can brick at times. And if it does, well, you better be prepared to capitalize on that attack. All right, and we are going to go to intermission now. We will be right back with game two once our other games have ended. This is Comp and Gaming's 1K Premium Vanguard Tournament, and we will be back. And here we go for round 2 of our premium tournament here at Compin Gaming. Card Trooper 1, this is a stream for Cardfight Vanguard Premium format. Cardfight Vanguard Premium format Compin Gaming. I know some people may have subscribed for the 1K Super Tournament that happened last week. Comp runs all different tournaments for all different card games. Super, Vanguard, Yu-Gi-Oh!, and Buddy Fight, as long as it's living format. Right now, Hector is playing the Great Nature Clan, and Ty is playing Nurakami. Again, for those coming into the chat new, we are taking all our precautions for coronavirus and safety. We are wearing masks. All our players are. I am in a sealed room, away from the players. If I go out, I have my mask, and as also always, I do have hand sanitizer as well. So we are taking all the precautions we can to keep this environment safe. Luckily, we do have these, as you see on stream, separators from Dragon Ball Super, which they gave out for their player base that we're using for our games here today. So right now, we're just mulliganing here into round 2. And just to clarify for last game, the skill to put all rear guards to the bottom of the deck was Hyuga's skill. Part of the skill that I have forgotten about, personally speaking. It's been a while since I played against Hyuga. Oh, it looks like a little bit of a misshuffle here. As we wait for this round of premium to start. We did have a little bit of a issue with who would be on stream a little bit. We thought it was only table 1, but table 1 would have been, again, same deck, Nurakami, or the same deck, Marino, with new Dio, but we've already seen that, so we were going to put on different decks to showcase the different builds that we have for premium format. And for the dice roll, Hector got a 3, and Ty got more than that, so Ty will choose to go first or second. And depending on your deck in this format, some decks like to go second to get the first stride off, some don't. Most of the time you want to go first. So now Ty's going. Got riding into a Great Nature older card. I do apologize, I am not familiar at all with the older Great Nature cards, but he is getting the Quick Shield off of the starter. And just vanilla swing. It's 1 to pass. Oh, crit, and it will pass. Ty takes 2 whole damage. A little bit of glare here that we can't see. Those are 2 vanilla units for Ty. So now Ty is going into his turn. Reveal top card of the deck. He draws it. Oh, nope, don't drive check. My apologies. Not paying attention. Bad me. Bad commentating here. Now he goes into grade 2, Crayon Tiger, and just goes for a swing. No pass, and we're going to grade 3 now. So here we go, and Ty is debating what... Oh, Ty's opting to go the grade 2 game. Ty does not want Hector striding on him first, so instead Ty is going to try and grade 2 game Hector. This will be an interesting turn of events to see what Hector does here. Hector opting to go into grade 3, going into the new Hamsky grade 3 card from Great Nature. Oh, and Hamsky's rival, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. He is going to mill a card. Oh, check top 2. 1 goes to hand, 1 gets called out. His skill does proc, so he is going to gain power here. Hector debating on what to do here. Hector opting to just go for the grade 3 turn and not care about striding. Well, and it's a 1 to pass. Nope. 2 to pass, and he does not pass, so he puts power to side and draws. So let's see what happens here. Hector and Ty both at 2 damage. Ty now at 3 damage. Damage checking a Cho-Oh. Not what you want to see here. Going into Vanquisher, and a nice SVR Vanquisher indeed. Draws off the SL2, and now Ty is going to go into Stunverse. Stunverse is a rather annoying card to play against. What Stunverse does is Stunverse is going to basically say, I'm going to flip a card and I'm going to counterblast one. No, I Soul Blast one, I flip a card. And guess what? 4 cards in your drop get bound, and your up to 4 cards on your field get bound. So now Ty will draw 1 card for every bound unit. For every 4 bound units in Hector's bind zone, Ty is going to get to draw a card. And now Ty is essentially playing standard Murakami at this point. Murakami's strength right now in premium format is it's very easy to get into. You can literally take your standard Vanquisher deck, pick up 4 Stunverses, which are from the new Premium Collection 2020, and you literally have a deck that can go up against a lot of good decks in the format right now. Stunverse is a really powerful card in that it just takes away your opponent's board, takes away their drop, and takes from hand too. For every 4 in your that you put away too, you have to bind a card from hand as well. So it's a great card at mitigating your opponent's hand, mitigating their drop, mitigating their field. You just make it hard for you to keep board state. And for Great Nature, it's not too much of a problem for Great Nature, from what I understand from old premium build. They can build pretty well, and they retire their own things anyway. So for them, as long as you're not binding too much, they really don't care. And with their new stride for Great Nature, their new stride, when their cards get retired, and we got a draw as well. Now this is a little bit of a problem for Murakami here. Even though Vanquisher does give the 10 to board, that just negates his 10. So now it's a little bit harder for Ty to be hitting for numbers, but Jaggy Shot's so consistent. Jaggy Shot on attack, retire front row, draw a card, nothing in front row, you're literally going to put him in his soul and draw a card anyway. Ty not opting to do that. Nope, he does opt to do it, Soul. Yep, he opts to do it. Smart play. He's going to swing the Cho-Oh. Oh, and another trigger. This is good for Hector at 4 damage to Ty's 3 damage. This is a good predicament that Hector is in. Hector debating what to drop for PG. He does. Jaggy and a crit trigger. Ooh, all effects to the SL marker. Swings the SL marker. And that gets PG'd as well. Hector doing really well. I will be going out after this first game to move this plexiglass a little bit so we can see Ty's board a little bit better. Now Hector debating on what to do here. What is my optimal play? Because if he doesn't get rid of his board adequately, it just lets Ty plus hard here. Rides again into the new Hamsky rival card. Or Hamsky's best friend. I do forget the card's exact name, but he does give him a marker here. Hector does run the Hamsky engine in here. We haven't yet seen it. And he's going into an older stride for Great Nature. And he's getting. Yep, this is what Hamsky does. He's got the Crayon Tiger out. Crayon Tiger will be on live for multi-attack. Not much of a board here, though. Swinging the Vanguard. Ty's wondering what is happening here. Oh, and smart play. Smart play here by Hector, trying to pick at his rear guards. is going to restand Crayon Tiger. Crayon Tiger's skill will give power, and it's going to let him draw, and then that unit that it gives the effect to will get retired at the end of his turn. Or after the attack, I should say. Swing, put a card into Soul, draw a card. And there's a Hamsky Grade 2, the Grade 3, and a Grade 1 card. Debating on if he should swing or not. He swings to side to Cho-Oh, and Tai says, no thank you. That is my boy. You are not attacking my boy there. And attacking with the Phoenix is a smart play. That Phoenix is just going to come back anyway with power. Going to bind his stuff. Comes right back out anyway. Free guard. And we now go into Stunverse again. Question mark? Tai debating on wanting to go into. Do you Stunverse? Is Stunverse the play here? Because Stunverse, it'll only net you for what's in that bind zone. So he has 5 in bind. Is it worth going into Stunverse right now? Hector's field is only 1 card, and his drop, I believe he has 4 cards, so you're only netting 2 cards from that. And we do, due to glare, we cannot see the card, unfortunately, which means I'm going to go out and move it soon. Believe that is, yep, it is still Stunverse. So he's going to flip, yep. So he is still going to do all the binding. So binds the 1 from field. And the 4 from drop. He's going to draw 2 cards off of his skill. Tai just explaining what Stunverse does to Hector. So now Hector does have to drop 2 cards from hand to bind zone. They do not count towards Tai's draw, though. They just go there first. They go there during the same phase. So it's only 10, not 12. So now Tai is putting pressure on Hector now with Great Nature. Great Nature at 4 damage here. Debating where he wants to put that Phoenix, if he really wants it in that back row. He did put another Phoenix on that rearguard circle, and he opts to put the Phoenix up and Jaggy Shot behind him for now. He's opting to use Vanquisher skill. Vanquisher chooses a card in the front row, you bind it, and then each player binds a card from hand. Tai unfortunately doesn't have either card that gets when bound from hand effect. So he had to bind a crit trigger and he had to bind his Falcon and neg 1 card out of Hector's hand here at this tournament. Vanquisher skills online, so Cho-Oh swinging for a beefy 19. Oh, and he got a trigger, so he is plus 5 power. It's only 5. Nope, that's one of the new ones. That's 10. So he's good. And here comes a G-Guard from Hector. Let's see what he gets. Just a basic G-Guard. Tai opting to swing Vanquisher now. No guard. Heal power, and he does heal. But, nope, does not get the second heal off. I'll be right back to fix that glare issue. Be right back. And we are back. This is my brother, so that's why I'm not having the face mask around him because it's my brother and I live with him. So we're back to game 2 of this premium tournament here. Now my brother does play both of these decks. He just got his Murakami deck premium today. He is playing the tournament. He did get the buy. He can give a little bit more insight than I can on the Murakami and on the Great Nature plays. Yeah, they can't hear us. So you don't got to worry about that. And we are just shuffling here. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Shuffling always more boring. Getting some hand sanitizer here. Yes, you do. It's like you do. This is a live tournament where we're all here, so we all need to be making sure we're safe and all that. So we're going into. Ooh, that's a grade 1. Yep, grade 1. He's going into soul charging for the Hamsky effect. Draw a card. Passing turn to Ty. Ooh, he has to ride. I don't know what that card is. Oh, Phoenix. That's not an ideal ride for Ty, as you want that in the drop zone, but you can still soul blast it out. Hopefully, not miss timing on it. Riding into the old grade 2 Hamsky support card. I'm not too familiar with it. I know it gives a skill. Oh, and Hamsky grade 1 comes out. Hamsky grade 1 does let you at least get through your deck a little bit more by finding more Hamskys to bring to your hand. Skill, yep, Soul Blast 1. Goes into Soul. Search for grade 2, right? Searching for the grade 2 Hamsky. Now, Hector here could be thinking of, if he has the grade 3 Hamsky in, his play could be, do I grade 2 game Ty? Do I just go into grade 2 Hamsky next turn and just not let him stride before me? And Cho-Oh swings, and Hector is going to... He's going to no-guard it. 1 damage. Now the important turn. Will he go into the grade 3 or will a grade 2 game him? He is indeed going into the grade 3 ham. The big ham. Draw. And now his skill. Call out the grade 1. Ditch 2 cards. Get another marker. And then search for the grade 1 and 2 and call them both out. So Hector coming in hot. Trying to rush the Murakami, trying to rush Ty with Murakami. The grade 1 and 2 Hamsky do get power bonuses when the grade 3 is on Vanguard Circle. Not a bad play, in my honest opinion. So we're here watching and seeing if he can make something happen off this. Calling the grade 3. That he was riding all game last time. I'm sure it's not his optimal ride target at all. Again, counter blast, pulling his effect. Look at top 2. Call 1, drop 1, right? This grade 3. Yep. Hector probably thinking he needs to rush Ty here, because if Ty gets enough binds off and just does what Murakami does, he's not going to have many answers for him. Swinging the grade 1 Hamsky first, seeing if the little poke damage would get him. Ty says, no sir, get away from me, Satan. Swinging the rear guard, no reason not to guard that. 2 damage, swing again with 10. No reason not to guard. 3 damage. Swinging the grade 2 ham. Ty says, no, not today. Smart play there. And the big ham's only 12. So it's a 1 to pass and still no pass. Now it's Ty's turn. Huh? It was 2 to pass. My apologies. Oh, and Ty has to G assist here. finds not his optimal grade 3. Oh, that is Vanquisher. My apologies. The this this thing is what we need for nowadays, but it makes it a little bit harder to get things done. Ty ditching his 2, removing from game for the cost of G assist. Only 4 cards in hand, about to go to 5. Vanquisher doesn't need a lot in hand to do what it needs to do, but if it has the right cards, and then yep. Going into Stunverse, why wouldn't you? He's going to bind his whole field of hams, which is why I'm kind of wondering why Hector did not put that grade 1 into the soul. Because now Ty is going to get 2 draws off of it, and Hector's going to lose 2 cards from hand because of this. Very, very optimal play by Ty in this situation. Now Ty's got to think. He went from 4 cards in hand to 5 to 7. He's got a pretty good size hand, and he has these Phoenixes come out for free. But he's debating, do I want to call them out? Where to call them out? Should I call them out? He's got the crit trigger out too, because remember, Vanquisher gets 10k to the front row. That trigger is still going to hit. It is a 15k attacker right now. You can swing that thing, poke damage, and then when you swing your Vanguard, throw it. That's right, he gains the 5, so it's a 20k poke. 20k poke, Hector is either going to take it, which he is. Oof. The grade 3 Hamsky got bopped. Now he's swinging with the Phoenix. Hector's sitting here thinking, what do I do here? He retired my board. Nope. G-Guard. Enough to G-Guard. Swinging Vanquisher, skill, putting that into soul, drawing a card. Vanquisher's a beefy boy right now. Hector hoping he doesn't get crit sacked here. Yep. Power's going to side. Draw power to Vanguard. Hector probably feeling pressure right now, because when this Vanquisher swings, he binds and he calls, what's that card called? I don't know his name. Chadara came out, and Chadara, being the MVP of this deck right now, gains 10k when it comes out bound. But Hector has lived for this turn. What can Hector do here? What can Hector do? What stride will he go into? The question I'd be asking is, how many cards in Ty's hand? Does he have enough?
That's the new object to come.
Yup. So he's going into the new stride, which basically lets you, if you ever retire one of your cards, or mill for effect, the card goes to the bottom of the deck instead of drop zone, saving his cards from Ty binding them. Smart play. He also has Crayon Tiger out, which Crayon Tiger is really good in the Great Nature builds. So the new stride for Great Nature also lets you flip in the G zone, and it lets you pull off, you know, the skill off the top of your head.
I believe it's 5k to the rear guard for every card face up in your G zone.
Yep. That's a good effect, because now Hector over here, he's now giving his units plus 15 to the one that does it, and after its skill goes off, he puts it into the bottom of the deck. But Ty Murakami just says, no, I'll bind that off my G guard. That ain't happening. 2 cards in deck. This is not good for Hector. Oof. Oof. Ooh, that was not good. Hector in a very tough spot here. Ty can just go into Stunverse right now, Buying 4 cards from drop, just draw immensely. Ty's in a pretty good position here. I don't think he went into Stunverse.
We went into one that gains power for every
Bound.
bound unit.
Yep.
That's fine, so.
Yep. So Ty opting to not go into Stunverse, knowing his opponent does not have a PG in hand. Even if he did, you have to spend that on the Vanguard swing. That stride for Murakami will get power for every face-up bound unit in your opponent's bind zone.
Pretty sure that's that. Or is that the VMAX? I can't tell because of the screen.
Yeah, I'm well aware the screen's a problem. But it's necessary in these times, unfortunately.
I'm not saying it's an issue, I'm just saying you should push his cards like a little bit. Ugh.
All right, let us watch what happens here. And Hector does heal off of the attack. This could be what Hector needs to survive. A very interesting game going on right now. Hector miracle heals off of the damage. So now Ty's got to be thinking, what do I have to do here? Because if he PGs the Vanguard and I can't hit, what am I going to do here? Voltage Horn? No, that's... Yep, and here comes Chatara. Here comes Chatara, making that trigger insignificant. Because even if he PGs the Vanguard, and even if the Jaggy Shot can't hit, Chatara definitely can hit him right now. Just asking numbers right here. Hector in quite a predicament here. I personally don't know if he can make... Nope. And he got beat. And that got 2-0'd Ty taking victory over Hector here at the premium tournament. Do you think there was anything else that Hector could have done against the Murakami?
I don't think so. That Great Nature Hamsky doesn't draw nearly enough, and it doesn't have as much. I found it. It's just the amount of binding that Narukami does with something that doesn't draw too heavily.
I do agree. Murakami is... It is an issue if you need your board state and the drop and just your drop zone for things, and if you don't draw enough to be able to replenish your board, you're just going to have a hard time.
Great Nature would do better with retiring its own units to lower board state after its big turns.
Yep. It maybe if Hector played a little bit more into the putting it back to the bottom, he may have been able to make a little bit better play there, but we got what we got here, folks. That is round 2 of our premium tournament here at Compin Gaming. Soon we will have game 3 coming up, and hopefully we have a good game 3 too. All right. We'll be right back once we get game 3 going up. There we go. We are live now. We have a special match for you here, folks. This is round 3, facing Nico versus Dave. Now, Nico has played at a high level with Vanguard before. He's actually been second place in New Jersey's regional standard Block A in 2019 with the deck he's actually playing right now. This is premium format, and that was standard, but this was the deck, the same clan that got him to second place, only losing out to Bermudas back in 2019. His opponent is Dave, very well respected Vanguard player here in comp and around the state. Dave is playing Aquaforce premium vanilla build, while Nico is playing a D-Police build here at Comp and Gaming's tournament. I do believe both players may be undefeated right now. Nico just getting off a very intense game 2 in which he beat Marino, as you saw game 1 with Murakumo. He beat Murakumo 2-1. As a lot of you know, Murakumo is a very tough matchup for almost any deck in the format. Nico pulling ahead and able to beat it. And now we come to this ultimate game, round 3 versus Dave versus Nico. Nico on the bottom of your screen with the ARG circuit mat, the Night Rose mat being Dave. This is a very, very hyped match between both of them. Both of them very happy to play against each other. Dave practicing against Jay, who faced Marino in the beginning a lot with the new Batama. Kind of tired of being told 4 cards left only in hand. Marino, everyone thought he was coming in hot with some Kagero Vanillas. Decided to come in with a deck he knows really well, his DP premium deck. So let's see what this matchup can bring, folks. Just keeping my phone updated just to make sure everything's cool. Giving a little update to some of the chats I'm in to let them know to watch the stream for this matchup. Both Dave and Nico, as said before, very experienced players, been playing for a while. Both know what each other's decks do. This is going to be a very interesting matchup. So we begin the mulliganing phase. A little bit of a boring step right now, as it's literally just dice rolling, figure out who goes first. Nico actually wanted to play his match on stream last game. In hindsight, would have been really nice to see Murakumo lose on stream. Unfortunately, we made the decision that different decks should be showcased. Hindsight's only 20/20, folks. So here we go, turn 1. Going into turn 2 now. Nico going into grade 2, swinging to Dave's grade 1. Dave using the quick shield and opting to no guard this attack, taking 1 damage. Goes into soul, draws a card. Going into a vanilla grade 2 here for Dave. Now, Dave's deck is built around the vanilla engine. So, unlike some of the other decks we've seen, and much more than, say, Jay's deck, which we've seen, Jay's deck has vanillas in it, but Dave is running more vanillas than Jay's deck was. So here we're seeing a more vanilla-based deck than before. Going into Daikaiser, I believe it's Daikaiser? I forget the newer VR's name for DP. He's going to search top 7 for some grade 3s. If he finds them, he's getting 20k and a crit, which he does. Die Liner, I believe his name is. So Nico's now beefy boy at 33k and 3 whole damage. So right now it's either you take this hit and I'm going to do damage, or you're going to PG this hit. And Twin Blader, that one grade 1 on attack gives Vanguard 10k. Die Liner is going to be beefy boy right here. It's going to be a 43k column. Vanguard swing. 3 damage. Dave ends up blocking it. So no guarding the Vanguard swing. Very dangerous. And Nico does pass turn. So here we go into Diamantes. Gets the SL2 marker. Going into his stride using the new stride fodder crits. Really good cards for premium now. No longer do you have to waste space on stride fodder grade 1s. Going into the new Aquaforce stride. On place, check top 7. Pick any 2 cards you want. Call them out as rest. It's a very, very potent card for Aquaforce. It gives you board, and it also will let you draw at the end of your turn. When you attack, based on the number of units that are in rest, you do gain power for it. And if you draw 3 or more cards, you are going to get to restand 2 of your units. It's a very powerful, potent card for Aquaforce, and something they really needed. A really good stride, gives them board state. As long as you get an Excel, as long as you can generate an Excel marker and fill board with this card, you're going to gain an advantage against your opponent. And with Dave's vanilla-based build, he's going to try and flood the board with vanillas and flip those Cyclones up, because you just want to flip them Cyclones up and get as much power out of your vanilla engine as you can. So now Dave's just thinking of attack order. In Aquaforce, attack order does matter to some cards. Example, the Saberflow, which is on the Accel circle right here. She will let you retire her or put into soul, I forget which one, and you can draw 2 cards. So now Dave is swinging the Vanguard, flips up a Cyclone. 6 units are down, so he's going to draw 1, 2, 3, and now, in addition to all of those I just said, it also retires the same number of opponent's units. It's for every 2 cards, you draw and retire 1. So it's very potent here. All of my knowledge on the Aquaforce matchup is from my friend Steph. She mains Aquaforce and plays Mega Colony. So she has playing against her has taught me a lot about how Aquaforce operates and how it plays. Nico's just checking to make sure what does what he has to guard. Nico's a very thorough player when it comes to what he has to guard, thinking about when to take damage. Very calculated, very make sure I'm doing the right move at the right time. As a matter of fact, in his matchup against Marino last match, he had a calculator out to make sure that that Marino's power columns were the correct ones, and to make sure that he was doing the right thing. Marino allowed it to be. He said he didn't mind, so it was allowed. Now, going into stride for Nico here, not too familiar with too much of DP strides, but he is going to what I think is an older stride. That is not the new stride that DP has gotten. So now Nico just picking off at the rear guards. You know, one of the things Aquaforce does not do well with, even with the new stride, is maintaining that board state. But Dave's hand is pretty meaty, pretty beefy. He don't quite care. And as you saw from last match, my brother, he is currently, if you want an update, he is currently playing against Hector right now. He's playing Prima Murakami versus Hector's Great Nature. swinging to Vanguard, and Dave is thinking what to do here. He is going to PG this attack, debating what to drop from his hand. Diamantes. Okay, so Nico did go into one of DP strides that can kill a PG. So Dave opting to PG twice. So I believe the effect is if he drive checks a grade 3, you get to break one of those guards. So Dave's sitting here thinking, this man's running a lot of grade 3s. Oh, and he's even opting to drop a third PG. Dave must be confident that he can break Nico's hand next turn. Draw trigger, power he draws. Second check, grade 3, retires one of those PGs for a Soul Blast. Another crit. Oh, and he retires another one. It is a good thing Dave PG'd that much. Just getting a correction there, is actually the stand trigger's effect that gave him the guard break. Soul Blasting 1 to give him the guard break. So Dave making sure to play proper, because if he got another grade 3, that would have been over for Dave. Dave debating on what he wants to do here. He's at 4 damage. He's thinking, if I survive this turn, if I live, I might be able to win this game. If I don't, if he breaks my guard, I'm dead. Dimension Police is a very scary deck to go up against. Nope. Swinging for the damage, and he is going to G-Guard. Bringing up. Flipping 2 over. Yep. Flipping 1 over. My apologies, those 2 are already up. So now his units cannot be attacked for the remainder of the turn. But doesn't matter. Oh, he's doing it twice. I believe he may be trying to go into a turbo here into his G zone. We shall see what happens here. Going into Dave's turn. Dave is thinking what to do. Do you ride again, get another gift, and then stride? What do you do here? He has another Diamantes in hand, and he decides to ditch the Maelstrom to stride. Who does he go into here? He can come up with a multi-attack. He can come in with the new stride again, fill board again. And he's going into, I believe it's Valios or Alexandros. I do forget the name off the top of my head, but it is the Restander that he's coming in hot with. I do believe that is the old Premium Collection 2019 stride, though. That might be Thavis. So he's coming in hot. If it is the Thavis, he will lock Nico at 11k, forcing Nico to have to guard everything. Doing some counter charging, getting some counter blast back up. Dave also is very meticulous of what he does. He does not play something unless he feels that he can plus or make a good play with it. Very meticulous, just like Nico. Nico also reading the card's effect. They both want to make sure that they understand what is happening so that they can adequately play against it. This is one of the hallmarks of higher tier play, always making sure you know what your opponent's effects do, what you do. You always want to have the intel to know what to do in these situations. Dave is swinging at the rear guard, getting rid of that. Just get rid of it. Don't want it. Swinging Vanguard. Nico debating on what to do. Nico's got a pretty sizable hand. Now you may think, oh, grade 3's in hand. That sucks. Dieliner lets you use those to guard. Gives him 10k shield to guard with. It's 5 or 10k shield. I do forget off the top of my head. But it is enough shield. It is enough shield that's better than nothing. Dave's debating on what to do here. Using his skill after the battle, restanding 2 units. Nico making sure he knows what to do. And Dave just thinking, what is my optimal play here? Gaining power, and I believe he's gaining power and crit on those units. Swinging Diamantes. Diamantes will restand, I believe. Indeed, do a barrel roll. Barrel roll will save everything. So discussing power columns, power and attack. Nico thinking, can I survive this? If those 2 rear guards have crit, he needs to guard those attacks. So he might be thinking, do I take this hit? Do I just let it restand and then guard it? What do I do here? Now, this also showcases how Nico did get to 2nd place in the 2019 Standard Tournament. He was always meticulous in knowing what his opponent does, asking, what does his effect do? What is his turn order? What do these cards do if you do this? Always making sure that he understands what the game plan is. I do agree. He should just give all effects to Geograph Giant. That is indeed what he should do. Dave just isn't playing Geograph Giant. I agree. He should just give all effects to it. I agree. That's by might be. So Nico just thinking what to do here. He's at 4 damage. Again, some people might be watching this and thinking this is a lot of talking and a lot of thinking. Again, this is the higher level play that Nico and Dave both do enjoy out of this game. Nico just doing some quick math here to understand what his numbers are. Nico also wants to make sure that the power is the correct amount that is going to the units. He does not want to... Both players do not want to miscalculate numbers, so they make sure that they're right numbers. Could be a little irritating at times, but again, you just want to make sure, because you don't want your opponent to tell you 50k and turns out it was only 47k and you had just enough to guard. Or something like that. Nico's got the numbers down. He's thinking, what do I do here? Dropping the grade 3, which is a 10k shield. Very tough matchup right now. Very close game here, folks. Swinging the Vanillas. The Vanillas, again, get 5k for every face-up card. Face-up Cyclone in the G-Zone, so he's just gaining power for those Vanillas. Forcing Nico to drop hand. Dave just reading the card, making sure the effect's correct. Everything's good. Now... So I gotta still drop a few more cards. Nico's thinking, what do I do here? I believe that's a grade 1 PG, actually, for DP, which he does play, takes the 1 damage, power to the Vanguard. And now skills go off. Restanding and swinging again. To 19. This is not that hard to guard, but Nico's only got 4 cards in hand. And I do believe that's an older trigger. That is the stand trigger. That's only 5k. So he's only 18. So literally a 5k guard here. Oh, and nope, I misspoke. He also had that power from Cyclone being a vanilla. So he needed to drop more than 5k. We're going back into Nico's turn, and Nico is now thinking, what do I do? I can go into a lot of drive checks, but if I don't have that stand trigger, nope, he's trying to pick off Diamantes, goes into Soul, flip. Alright, so here we go. We know Dave went through all his PGs now. This is, oh, he no guards. Crit. Nope. Dave needs to heal out of this. And he heals. Needs to heal out of this. Does he heal the Zazan? Nope. And Dave goes down game 1. Nico takes game 1. Again, it takes a lot of thought on Nico's part. He wanted to make sure his attack, his blocks, his defense turn was going well, because if he didn't guard effectively, that could have cost him the game there. But he made sure to go through what effects did what. What will my opponent do? What is he going to do to win the game? And he took all that into consideration, and he was able to just do it. Able to take that win today. Going into game 2, though, Dave is definitely going first. Dave is not going to let that DP deck go first. He had to spend all 3 of those PGs just to survive that turn, which he had to. There was no argument there. If he had only dropped those 2, he would have ate that damage from that Vanguard swing. So, smart play on Dave's part. But as you can see, that's why this Aquaforce card, this new Stride, does give Aquaforce a really good first turn Stride. It gives you board state, it'll let you draw, it'll let you retire. It just does so much for the Aquaforce premium game that they didn't have before. Our guys are just mulliganing here, deciding what they want to do. This is a little bit of the boring part of the tournaments, where you're just waiting for shuffling, and this could also be the point where you're very nervous in a tournament, where you can be like, you just lost game 1. Got to go into game 2. Oh, and Dave opts to go second. Not a bad choice on Dave's part. Premium is a little different. I'm normally playing standard myself. Bermuda main. You can hate me if you want. Dave chooses to go second so we can get the first Stride off. That's what Dave's thinking probably is. Dave swings, goes, draw PG. So now he has that PG in hand. Nico knows that's in hand now. So that might affect Nico's game a little bit. Goes into the grade 2. Very, very standard vanilla game here. Opting not to give him damage here. Goes into Algos. Algos' new V series is a restander, but without the counterblast, it's pretty useless right now. Drive checking a Maelstrom. And again, Dieliner skill, checking top 7, getting that grade 3. Dieliner's crit is active, going for 3 damage and 20k plus. Right now we're looking at 33k Vanguard with 3 damage. The grade 2, I do believe, gains power if your Vanguard's over 30k. Calling out the grade 3, which is going to swing Dave is debating, do you let this hit? Nah, we're not letting that hit, fam. Put that into the soul, and he's going to give his Vanguard an extra drive. So right now, this is triple drive. Nico's not scared. Nico don't care. Dave says, bring it on. 3 damage, I got this. And he does got this. Only 3. A draw PG, so he draws. Crit trigger, and a vanilla check. Nico can't do anything about that. So now we're going into Dave's turn. Rides into OG Maelstrom. This is the really beautiful artwork OG SVR Maelstrom. For those who don't know, the background is different than most SVRs now. It's really beautiful, very expensive. Almost, I believe $60 right now. Going into, I believe that's that. I know I said Thavis last time, but that was Alexandros, I believe. I believe this is Thavis. I believe he's going to lock him out. He is playing Tempest Sphere. Now, Tempest Sphere, as we saw in the earlier games, is a very potent card for this vanilla engine. Lets you just flip up the Cyclone, Counterblast. Give me 2. Let me check top 7. I'm going to get 2 vanillas. I don't care. Gives you heal triggers, gives you crit triggers. I don't care. It doesn't have a continuous auto or that. Screw you. I'm going to keep it. And that is the Premium Collection 2019 Stride he went into. So that is Thavis. So now Dave is debating. I've locked him at 11k. What do I do here? Valios. Okay, I stand corrected. It is Valios. I stand corrected. I am not the best when it comes to names of the premium cards, but I basically know the effects. Nico reading the skill so he knows what it does, and he's only at 2 damage. So Nico's probably thinking, I can take a hit or 2 here. I don't mind too much. And it gets a crit off of it. So now Dave wondering where to put that power. Crit to Vanguard, power to side. Ooh, crit to Vanguard, power to side. Nico at 5 damage here. Big sad right now. That's not easy now. Now he's got beefy numbers from the vanillas. Nico's got to be thinking, I won game 1. Even if I lose here, I still got this, but I want to finish this up and go the heck home right now. I don't want to stay here any longer than I need to be. So here we go. Nico is doing math again, making sure that he knows his opponent's columns. He knows what's in his hand. He is trying his best to maximize his turn potential. I do wonder if my one friend Steph is watching and going, yeah, I knew you wouldn't know these card names. Sitting there saying, this dummy doesn't know what she's doing. I do hear some of the chatter going on outside the door. I do hear my brother playing his opponent. And he's also doing the same, trying to figure out his opponent's turn order. So if you ever want to get slightly better at the game or try and be better, if you think you want to elevate your game up, always just ask what your opponent's cards do. See what they do, ask them, and think, what could they do on my turn, and what do I have in hand to maximize my defensive turn? Nico throwing that PG down saying, no, Satan, I do not want that damage. 4 cards in hand. Nico's going into his turn with 5 now from the draw. Oh, I think he just got what he needed. Oh, he got the stride fodder. Oh, going into the new stride. I can hear Dave laughing right now. Nico top decked, saved himself here. So now Nico knows I gotta kill here. I gotta kill my opponent now. I got low card hands. I need to go into this card. I need to go into this stride, and I need to deal damage. Basically, what this grade 3 does is on attack, it's going to search. If I remember correctly, it's top 7, and you select 2 units to call out. And for every grade 3, he gains a crit. Do believe that's his effect. I did play against this deck a week or two before. Um, yeah, I got crit sack due to this card. Not a fun feeling going from 1 damage to 6 damage and saying, where'd all this damage come from? Swinging sides first, because who needs sides? You're going to look for top. You're going multi-attack. Dave's saying, nope, I don't need that damage. You can go away, Nico. Nico swinging for side. Nico just saying goodbye to his board. Nico flipping. Checking the top. To get the grade 3s. He gets a grade 2. Ooh, no grade 3s to call out. Not good for Nico. Those grade 3s would have helped. And nope, Dave's saying, no, Satan, get away from me with them crits. I don't need no crits here. Dave debating what to ditch here. This is a pinnacle turn here. If Dave can survive this turn, he may have this game 2 in the bag. Nico having no hand at the moment. So Nico thinking, this is all or nothing right here. This is all or nothing for me. I have to win here. If he doesn't, looks like we're going to game 3 and grade 3, grade 0. Oh, nope. Sad. 2 grade 3s. Can't hit. Now Nico just doesn't give up. Another great skill that Nico possesses, or trait, he won't give up here. He's not just going to say, let's scoop, go to game 3. Nico will fight till the bitter end. He will sit there and play the game out and let the game decide. And Dave knows that, so Dave is also going to do his best to try and win this game here fairly. Going into Diamantes to get another marker. Stride foddering into a stride. What stride will Dave go into? He has a lot of options. He could, if he feels he needs board, he can go into the new stride. If he just doesn't want them if he feels that trigger sack might be he might have the heal, you can go into Valios, try and mitigate that heal power up. You can go into Alexandros and just multi-attack. He has options here in this game. He opts to go into Cyclone. Sorry, we have someone asking about the stream real quick. All right. So Dave is thinking there's nothing. Dave must be thinking he needs to. He knows what's in his hand. He knows he's going to get shield from those grade 3s. So Dave is thinking, I need to multi-attack, and he must feel that he can't multi-attack well enough with anything else but Cyclone. So he's drawing 2 off of the crit triggers going into Soul, swinging the Vanguard. Now, if he gets a normal unit, he can restand his Vanilla on that Accel circle. So he just, yep, that's going to be the multi-attack, and there's Twin Spear. Oh, draw. Nope. And Dave is taking game 2 here at Comp Gaming's Premium 1K tournament. And if you wish to know, they are planning to try and host these tournaments once a month for both Vanguard Premium and Vanguard Standard, for Dragon Ball Super, and for Yu-Gi-Oh! We may also be trying to stream our locals for some games. I will be commentating for those locals too. That's if we do that. Try and get some standard showcased, some more premium. Again, the mulliganing, the more the more boring part of tournament play, the mulligan and shuffling. At this point, both players have won a game. Nico has won the first, and Dave won the second. So right now, both players have to be thinking, I got a game off of them. I can do this. I got this. Dave, he's like, I got this. I can do this. They both got to feel pretty good about their wins, respectively. Dave feeling he may have an advantage, maybe with the multi-attack. That definitely that play where he was able to PG 3 times helped him outlast that turn. Even if he lost, he still made it past that very difficult guard break. And basic grade 1 game, taking that quick shield. Again, that's quick shields coming in clutch for some of these players today. Nico just debating and playing what he wants. So he's swinging, giving him a damage. 1. Nope. Taking the 1 damage. Swinging. And then Dave's debating. He's thinking how many cards in hand, what to do, what shield. Bam. Drops that 5k shield. Free guard. Free no damage. What could be better? Going into the vanilla grade 2... Dave playing Tempest Sphere, flipping up that card, and Nico again, just making sure, even though Nico's played against him twice already, he always just wants to make sure this is what the card says. Cool, I know what it does now. Getting 2 vanillas off of the top 7. Now, some people may pick up triggers here or anything like that. Personally speaking, I don't like the idea of taking triggers out of the deck. I'd rather have them in deck to trigger them. And he's hitting the Zazan. Now, some of you might say it's Zarzan. The English printing is Zarzan, Z-A-R-Z-A. A lot of us have been calling it Zazan from the Japanese translations we were told. So Dave is coming out hot with a full board of vanillas. This is a play that most decks can run with this new engine. So now Nico's got to think, do I just eat this damage? Which he apparently is. Nico just doesn't care. Nico's like, you know what? I'm at 1 damage at first. I'll take these 2 hits. I don't trigger, but oof. Nico at 5 damage going into grade 3. And Dave only at 1. This is not good for Nico. Nico, though, playing Dimensional Police, knows, I don't care how much damage I'm at. I can 6 damage you in 1 turn if I want. Not on Dieliner, though. Not his optimal ride target. Nico is not having a good game, it seems, here. Opting to try and snipe his units. So, Dave letting it go. Swinging the Vanguard, Dave is going to say to that, no guard. He doesn't care. Oh, and Nico just disappointed there with his hand. He does not have the die liner. He did not drive check it, and his drive checks were trash, it seems. Again, Nico does not give up. Nico will play this turn out, and he will fight tooth and nail to win this game. You don't make second in standard against any deck out there with DP just by giving up. You definitely don't want to do that. Nico might be in a tough spot here, but Nico knows it's not over until I say it's over. Nico reading the card again, making sure he knows what's going on. I do believe that's the restander, and Dave is just thinking, I need to kill this man now, or else I may not get the second chance. Coming in with a full board with Aquaforce. This is definitely a dangerous board for Nico to be going up against that 5 damage. You gotta block all of this with possible restanding. Nah, man, this is not good. For all those wondering, Dave is running The standard 8 crit, 4 draw, 4 heal. So, my brother asking for some hand sanitizer right here. It's always what you need in this day and age, unfortunately, for the times we live in. Discussing turn order, discussing attacks. Dave swings. Telling him his number. Nico's sitting here thinking, what do I do here? Dave happy. Dave knows he may have this in the bag. Swinging Vanguard, drawing a card from the crit skill. Nico's sitting here wondering what to do. This is a very tough situation to be in. Vanguard is 27 plus Cezanne, which is like an 8K, I think. 35, 45 possibly swinging at him. This is not a good spot to be in. Nico getting up, pulling out the calculator. He needs a calculator. Dave has no problem with it. Dave allows it. For some of you who might say that's not allowed at like Bushiroad sanctioned tournaments, that may be the case. This is Comp and Gaming tournament though, and if your opponent says you can have a calculator, well, you have a calculator. No harm in it. Some people may say it's unfair, but to me, what's the difference between having a calculator out and having some dice out? They're just discussing the order of what, the power, what they're doing. Nico's doing math, trying to figure out, can I make it out of here alive? DP, if you're on the wrong grade 3, I do believe it's still fine. Your strides are still really good. Your strides can win you the game still. So Nico's sitting here hoping he can survive this turn. Hoping he can outlast it. Even if they restand with crit, can I make it? Nico just asking all the right questions, trying to make sure he knows what he's doing. Because if there's a will, there's a way, and Nico will find that way. He will not give up. In my honest opinion, this is the kind of play you expect out of high level tournament players. They will make sure, they will take the time and make sure the numbers are right. They want to make sure your turn's correct. They want to make sure your numbers are right. They want to make sure their hand's good. They're trying their best. Nico PGing, it seems, with the grade 1 PG. Blank. Crit trigger. Ooh. Crit. We have one of the headsets had the fall. Sorry about that. So, and he pulled what looks to be another crit trigger. All effects to side. Oof, the vanilla side is going to be beefy with a lot of damage. If Nico's thinking that he can survive one attack, he can't take that. Vanilla swing. Block. Oh, he's G-guarding. He's going to G-guard into a DP, into one of DP's G-guards. I'm not too sure what they do, but he is guarding. Attack got guarded. Swinging another vanilla side. Nico's sitting there, and now with 5 cards in hand, can he block this vanilla swing and the big beefy column? He cannot, and Nico goes down, and we have a winner here. Dave has taken the victory here, 2-1 against Nico. Nico cannot get the win here today, and Dave takes home the victory with Aquaforce, the Aquaforce Vanillas. What I believe hurt Nico the most is that grade 3 turn where he just didn't have die liner. And of course, some people might say shaking hands in this day and age, no, but in my opinion, it's good sportsmanship. We have hand sanitizer. It's the right thing to do. You always shake your opponent's hand. Show that good sportsmanship. They're putting in the tournament results. And that is that game, folks. That is Dave taking the W here. If we have another round or if there's any information, I will be sure to come back at you and let you know. Maybe an interview with the tournament winner if the game ends, and we can have a little bit of deck explanation of how the deck works. If you want to stick around for that, we'll give you some insight possibly. But yeah, that is our Comp and Gaming's premium 1K tournament today. That was game 3. And congratulations, Dave. We will be right back to let you know if that was the last match or if we have one more match and a possible interview with whoever won if it's something they want to do. We'll be right back. And we are back for just an announcement. That was the final round of our premium tournament here at Comp and Gaming in Newark, New Jersey for the 1K tournament. Dave did go undefeated. He did win his matches all, and he's won the tournament. That's going to be it for us here at Comp and Gaming today. um, he chose not to do a deck profile. He chose not to, so we're going to respect that. And we're good to wrap up here. So thank you all for watching. Subscribe to Comp and Gaming for more games. We do, like I said during the stream, we do Vanguard Premium, Vanguard Standard, Dragon Ball Super, and we also do Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments. Stay tuned for more of those, and have a great day.